What are some unexpected struggles about being left-handed? Brass hitting you in the face at the shooting range. Also being left-hand dominant, right-eye dominant sucks, in particular where there is just no good option. Pole to start engines I cannot use. Double zippers I can't get off. Literally have to get my wife to take coats off me that have them. Scissors are from Satan. Writing in a spiral notebook. I never realized this is why I always have such a difficult time with pull to start lawnmowers. It always feels so awkward and clumsy and like I can't get a good strong pull. But I never put this together for some reason. Thank you. I think one of the biggest struggles for left-handed people is that so many things are designed for right-handed people. For example, scissors, notebooks, desks, etc. It can be really difficult to find things that are designed specifically for left-handed people. Sounds like you need a left-handed store in the mall. Using self-check machines at the grocery store can be annoying. The cash slot and the card reader are oriented for right-handed use, so lefties have to reach across their body in an awkward way or shuffle to the side a bit for it to feel more natural to use them. I'm not a lefty, but I know one very, very important advantage. Sword fighting. Every lefty knows how to fight righties, but most righties can't fight lefties. I'm not left-handed. Tennis grips don't feel as good in your hand. Otherwise though, there are huge advantages to playing tennis lefty, arguably more than any other sport. So much so that Nadal plays lefty despite being right-handed. That spin just throws people off for a few games, which is nice. The entire world is not built for us lefties. You know what bothers me? Measuring cups. I have to hold it in my right hand to see the measurement labels properly. Mugs in general though too. The design always ends up pointed towards me. I do this whole thing where I hold it in my left hand backwards, twist my arm around, and turn my neck like a freaking owl because my right hand is useless. Video games. I can never do those quick combos with my right hand on the joystick. I can never aim in shooting games well. I always have difficulty controlling characters with the mouse in games like LOL and Dota. At least on PC you could move the mouse to your left side and most games allow you to rebind keys. Hand smudges. If you write left to right, you end up with a heavily stained hand until you figure out how to write sideways. Partially ambidextrous person here. Technically I'm right-handed, but my left arm is a lot stronger because of how I swim. In high school, my front door broke and had a hard time opening from the outside. It had the kind of doorknob that you had to hold like a handshake and push down on a lever before pushing the door open. It was designed for righties. When the door broke, I had to throw my shoulder into it to open it, but had a hard time doing so since I couldn't use the strength of my left arm. You get so used to adjusting for a right-handed world that when you actually encounter something designed for southpaws you either automatically compensate, thinking it's set up for righties, or you're surprised at how easy life can be. Other things about growing up left-handed. When I was small and it became expected of me to offer a handshake, it took me forever to offer my right hand and not my left. Pretty much anything that expects you to lead off with your right hand or foot or whatever can be confusing since your natural instinct is to lead off with the left side appendage in question. Firearms are all pretty much designed with right-handed people in mind. I've had a few guns where the magazine release is meant to be pushed with the right index finger, but instead I'd have to get my thumb down in there. Slide releases can also be problematic, though I learned most can be operated with my index finger. Using a speed loader on a revolver is awkward as heck. Nothing like going out to shoot your buddy's new rifle and having the brass spit up into your face, or across your field of vision. And bolt action rifles, I have to reach up and over the rifle to work the bolt. And then there can be a challenge finding a left-handed holster, while left-handed guitars are a thing. Most are right-handed and I never saw very many in the shops. So if I wanted one I'd have to order it and hope that I liked how it felt and played. I opted to learn right-handed and from time to time think about getting a left-handed one just for the heck of it. Dang. Gave me flashbacks. Learning to write on my right hand cause teacher be forcing me to be right-handed. Using can openers. The button gesture layout of most apps is designed for right-handed people. Write a new tweet. Check notifications on Reddit. Send a message on Instagram. Compose a new email in Gmail app. the post button when writing a Reddit comment, and more all favor the right side of the screen since that's the hand righties tend to hold their phone in. Even the volume and screen on off buttons on your phone are on the right side. Mine are on the left side. Fair phone, though I think it's because the phone is the right, lol, width to grab around the back when operating the buttons. One time in high school, my friend, who I'd known for 4 years at this point, looks over at me and said, "You're left-handed." The "oh, you're left-handed" gets pretty annoying. My response is usually along the lines of "nah, I write like this for fun." Yet, there was this one kid who kept asking why I was writing with my left hand. He just couldn't wrap his head around it, I guess. Measuring cups are made for right-handers. Also most mugs with pictures on them or whatever are made for right-handers. I recently realized I suck at first-person shooter (FPS) games cause I'm controlling the mouse with my right, non-dominant, hand so I can never have a stable aim. I'm sure I could get better with enough practice, but that's too much commitment for a casual player like me. Using the mouse is fine for all normal operations though, it's just the games that cause me trouble. Paying bus fare. It's by readable card in my town, and the protective plastic covered wall between rider and driver is in the way. Was just struggling with using a circular saw today. The issue with it is for a lefty, most of the base plate is to the waist side of the cut so it is not supported by the workpiece. The fact I typically default to my right hand for anything but writing, which is only because I prefer it. Left-handed stuff isn't common, so it was either struggle with my left or learn with the right like everyone else. On the bright side now I can use either hand for pretty much anything. When you are a left-handed woman and a man insists on walking on the left side because that's the man's side so you keep running into each other, your friend's dog will deviate to the right side because that's what he is accustomed to so you end up caught in the leash. The hospital room furniture is usually set up by right-handed people so you end up stuck in awkward positions trying to navigate everything because the patient is heavy enough that you can't trust your non-dominant side. Right-handed people taking the one and only left-handed desk for no reason then complaining so they take away the left-handed desk and bring in a right-handed desk for that person despite you fear all shrieking to have said desk. Right-handers throwing away your scissors because it's broken and won't cut. I have never heard of a man's side and a woman's side before. Not me, but my mom. She was born and raised in a time when it was considered wrong to be a lefty. The teachers, or nuns, in her case, would hit you if your left hand was used. So she learned to use her right hand for things instead. She's now ambidextrous. Ink smudges. Using cooking tools made for right-handed people. Bumping elbows at the dinner table, etc. It also makes my right hand almost useless, lol. Majority of objects are made for right-handers. Definitely, smudge left pinkies though, and sitting around the dining table is like feng shui. You can't just sit anywhere because you don't want to bump the person next to you. I hope you get left on read by your Aunt Mabel. When I was younger I had to learn how to golf right-handed cause we couldn't find any left-handed kids clubs. Also I had really sloppy handwriting and one teacher used to give me crap. I told her it wasn't my fault I was left-handed and she blurted out, "Yes it is. I think you are me." My dad eventually bought me a left-handed gold club, but by then I've been playing right-handed for too long. One that snuck up on me was my hesitation to use the 10 key on the keyboard. I just thought I was weird because I preferred the number keys across the top until a random epiphany made me realize it's probably because it's always on the right side. Every time you write it smudges, the pencil rubs your finger a weird way so you get a bump on your finger. Your hand hits the spiral of a notebook so you struggle to write there. Can openers are a battle, so are scissors. My left-handed friend always struggled writing on the left side of the book for some reason. I thought it would be different. Because as your hand moves right while writing you push the pages instead of sliding across them. Depends what you mean by left-handed. I am left-handed, but I can do everything left-handed just as good as I can right-handed. People assume you won't struggle when you dislocate something on that side. People assume we are naturally creative. 1. Every single textbook that shows proper writing posture is completely wrong for lefties. Some right-handed idiot must be mirroring a drawing of a right-hander and thinking good enough it's not. A lefty trying to write that way can't see what's being written unless they slant the letters backwards. That's why lefties write upside down with the forearm above the script instead of below, so we can see what the heck we're writing. Why can't these textbook writers get a clue? 2. Clipboards. The clip gets in the way because that's where our forearm needs to go for the top third of the paper. I flip clipboards upside down and use a rubber band to hold the free end of the paper in place. Getting a stiff neck from tilting my head to see what I'm writing, in order to write in a straight line. Also, I've never met anyone who could teach me how to play a left-handed guitar. My son is left-handed. Sports coaches always had trouble with his action because it was opposite what they expected. He switched to using a racket right-handed because they made him feel so self-conscious. Still kicks left-footed though. Years ago my family had a gas-powered lawnmower that was obviously made for right-handed people. I always struggled to start it. My right arm was too weak to pull the power cord hard enough. I had to twist my body so I could hold the handlebar down with my right hand and pull the cord with my left hand. Being treated like a hecking clumsy T-Rex or something. Every time I do something left-handed in front of a right-handed person, they get all freaked out and I have to explain it to them. And the people who know treat me like a bull in a china shop. It's really unfair. I trip sometimes like everybody else, and because I'm also the left-handed kid, people baby the freaking heck out of me. Oh no, let me take that, you'll trip on something. Maybe you shouldn't do that, you're so clumsy. Careful, you'll burn yourself. We're all 872,461,734 of these oven mitts and goggles I have. I'm going to explode if somebody says something like that to me one more time. Jesus, I got ranty there. I went on a stag party a few years ago and one of the activities was shooting. All of the weapons they had were designed for right-handed people. It was something a bit different and I really enjoyed the experience. However, when the rifle ejects the hot shells into your face, it's a minor inconvenience. Used to be a thing in the UK 20 years ago. Kids would say it meant you were gay if you wore your watch on your right hand. I don't know with other left-handers, but I'm left-handed and strangely the musculature on the right side of my body is better developed than on the left side. Another annoying thing is that my cell phone positions the apps in different places depending on how often I use each one, and the apps I use the most are on the right side of the screen, and it's kind of difficult to access them with my left hand. The fact that everything on the dang planet seems made for right-handed people and anything left-handed is special made with ambidextrous options few and far between. Tying shoes. Shoelaces are designed so that when a right-handed person ties them they grip against each other. When a left-handed person ties their shoes they can't grip and slide past instead. Made my childhood difficult. Also scissors are right-handed. Also made my childhood difficult. IDK what kind of fancy shoelaces you've got, but mine are the same left and right, front and back. I'm pretty well ambidextrous, but chose my left hand to write, so identify as a lefty, other than the obvious smudgy writing if not using a good pen and spiral notebooks. The one thing that trips me up is can openers. I forget every time and then I have to actively think about what way they go. Using drawing tablets. Most of them are made for right-handed people, and while there are settings that can help, if you don't know them, then it's a pain to draw. I have no problem with mine. You can adjust the handedness, flipping it 180 for lefties. I'd think most would have this option. When writing, my hand follows my pen, instead of my pen following my hand. My handwriting has a crap load of different variations because I can't see how it looks to keep it consistent. Also, inky pinky, lefties no. My dad says one of the struggles is having the computer mouse on the right side. He's learned to use it right-handed, but he says it is endlessly annoying. The machines at my job are designed for right-handed people. The right side of the maintenance areas are clear, with the left side blocked by crap. The area that holds the paperwork to write on is clear on the right, and blocked on the left. My hand gets smashed rather often when doing maintenance. People always mention scissors, and I've never had too much of a problem with them and chalked it up to ambidexterity. But the other day I noticed what I was doing when I had to cut a fairly intricate shape. I hold the scissors completely still, like sort of raised up in front of me, and slowly squeeze them as I like ridiculously rapidly turn the paper I'm cutting with my left hand. I can cut really quickly and accurately this way, but if I try to do something fairly simple, like say cutting wrapping paper, a straight line with my right hand, it comes out totally jacked. Wonder if anyone else does this. I'm left-handed and I have mild eczema on my hands, and I currently clean buildings as it's a job I've had since I was 14 and couldn't find anything better during school. Being left-handed and sometimes getting cuts from my dry skin in the winter, it hurts while I wipe, scrub, and polish everything in the bathrooms and lunch rooms. That's my only area, while my partners clean the desks, and we share vacuuming in the biggest buildings, and since my left hand is used more often, it's more dry and in pain than my right one. And I'm not ambidextrous, so I can't switch hands, so the left gets a break. Also, my hand having to turn awkward ways to use the key to unlock the paper towel dispensers, metal ones mostly, and hurting my wrist. On the plus side, my right is helpful for opening fridges and other doors, since when I was 7 or 8 I had broken my left wrist once and had to get used to my right being more helpful. How it broke. I tried to climb into my grandpa's neighbor's pool on the 4th of July to join my sister, cousins, and their grandkids, and they didn't have a ladder out and offered to help us in. I thought I was tall enough to get in on my own, so I tried, but being drenched in water already from my papa's water slide, I slipped off and fell on my arm. They helped me in anyways once I got off the grass, but my wrist hurt, so I got out early, much to my dismay, because I really loved pools and swimming and still do to this day, and told my mom my wrist hurt, had some Tylenol, but it didn't help. So I went to the hospital with her and my aunt. I had given myself a buckle fracture and had gotten a large white cast and got to watch Cartoon Network while I was casted. When I arrived back to my papa's house, I got to watch Fireworks. My other nana, mom's mom, I was at my dad's place, brought over some strawberry shortcake, my favorite dessert, and I had some while watching said fireworks. Later that month I got a hot pink cast, and after the whole healing process it hadn't healed right, so the bone sticks out a bit more than the other wrist one does, so it affected my handwriting during school, and I could only write for so long until it started to hurt. But that was a fun summer because I had to attend summer school, and instead of learning anything I got to do a whole thing on how and why I broke my wrist. Fun times really. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.